All right, let's do it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 124 of the KBMOD podcast, Game of the Year edition. Finally, I feel like how many weeks we've been talking about that. We will get to this podcast
since November.
Since November. Yeah, exactly. We're in. It's actually January 12th, 2014. Jesus, it's the 12th? Oh my God! See, this was actually helpful because I had no idea what date it was. So. Actually, just
unemployment grind is real.
Saying the date is not only for listeners; it's also for us.
Yeah, there you go. So this week I can't be mad about it. So, but yeah, so we'll get. I mean, most of the podcast will be us discussing what we're going to vote for Game of the Year. But we should, as always, go over what we've been doing this week. So let's start with Dan because I feel like we always end with Dan, and I think you should first this time.
Well, I fell out of love with Hearthstone this week.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Been
in love.
My win rate this week in Hearthstone was probably 25%, if not lower. Like, it was horrendous.
Oh, so you're up into my KD in every first-person shooter.
Hex skewers himself and does it well.
I know I'm shit at shooters. It's not even an insult to me. That's just my life.
I would sit here. Here's my problems with Hearthstone. I've gone into these in small detail before on streams. Going second is overpowered. It is.
I agree with that.
Overpowered. If you're going second, you have a better chance, I think, straight up, because you automatically have the coin right there, and you
should just get the extra card. There, you should get the coin.
You shouldn't get the coin. Like, you should just get the extra card.
Well, either you just get an extra card or you just get the coin.
Yeah, one or the other, because the coin. In certain decks, for mages is a huge one, obviously, but there's a lot of other cards.
Get your spells out faster and shit like that.
Yeah, you put a mana worm out, use the coin, you have a 2/3 mana worm straight away. Like, it's.
Oh, you know what's a fun first turn play as mage is mana worm, coin, and illusion. The 0/2/0/2 taunt.
Yep. Or
2 of them.
Or you can do, like with a druid, coin, innervate, 4/4 charge first turn.
Yep.
Like that is overpowered, and it's not fair. It's quite literally not fair. I think they have to change that. They have to look into it. It's super late now, obviously, and it's probably not going to get changed. But that is a huge problem to me. Whenever I go first, I am automatically just in a bad mindset right away. Even if I get a good hand, I'm just like, I have.
The thing is, only certain classes are better at going second. Like Rogue is pretty powerful second still. I find Shaman usually does better second, but you can build your deck around having good first turn plays. But if you don't have any sort of first turn play in your hand, like like we said before, a lot of mages run like the mana worm. You're not really going to have much point. But they have said in the past that ever since they added the coin, they're still pretty close in win rate, going first versus going second. It's actually still slightly in favor of going first. But I think they're also including like really high-level play in that equation.
Upmarket Rat, who is very good at Hearthstone, in case you guys don't know, is saying that before they added the coin, first turn was a 70% win rate. After it was closer to half each. So the coin apparently evened it out for second turn. But I mean,
you're just getting the shit under the stick or something this week, or what?
I just feel like that is... I feel so much better when I go second in that game. I'm also just so sick, and Nick commented on this on Twitter. I think I was talking with him this week, and Fenton, and it's like, if you draw luck is so huge. RNG.
Yeah, it's because it's only 30 cards.
Right.
Your chances of getting the card that you want are way higher than if in like a trading card game where you had like a 60 card deck or something like that.
Like I can't think of any example.
Yeah,
it's just so, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's been a bad run, like for sure this week.
Were you playing ranked or were you just playing regular?
I've done both. Like, but I barely got any. Like, I've been doing that series on YouTube. I didn't even get anything worth like even remotely posting, win or loss. Like, I was just getting my shit pushed in left and right. They reset the ladder as well, for those who don't know. But, but yeah, there's so much randomness in that game that I feel like at this point I almost have to spend money, which was like sort of the point of the series I was doing, to compete. Like, I have to get a Ragnaros. Like, if I don't get a Ragnaros, I feel like I'm just going to die, like, all the time.
I think the better choice is go in the way that I'm going in this and just being like, this game's casual as fuck, and I'm not going to invest anything in this, any emotions. Because, I mean, I guess that's kind of what it is. I mean, obviously there's high-tier players, but...
Yeah, I mean, I was never trying to be, like, legendary rank, but, like, I don't know, it's not fun constantly losing.
I've had kind of the opposite experience, like, in the past week, because I finally got all the basic cards, and actually this weekend I decided to put $50 in and get packs, which I didn't think I would do, but I've had so much fun with the game already that, like, when I looked at it that way, it was already worth my $50. So I did that. I opened all the packs. The packs weren't great in terms of, like, legendaries and epics, but I got a bunch of, like, rare and common cards that filled out a bunch of, like, easier to do decks. And I have, like, a priest deck. I have a shaman murloc deck now, and I've been winning way more. Like, even though there is a lot of randomness, like you said, like, graduating from just kind of the basic decks to actually making decks and then just seeing how, you know, some of the combos and things you can put together are really good. Like, the priest deck I'm using just destroys an early ranked game, and I've gotten on, like, 5-6 game win streaks, and I'm not, like, a good Hearthstone player. It's all about the deck synergy.
Man. No, you're the best. Just don't ever say that again. You're the greatest.
Love you, Brandon. We're here for you.
But I've actually gotten, like, way more into Hearthstone this past week.
Yeah, so we went the opposite ways. I just don't even want to press play on that thing anymore.
What did you play anything else besides?
Yeah, I played. I resubbed WoW because everyone was so excited.
Sorry about that.
I canceled my Final Fantasy 14 sub and resubbed to WoW, and I started playing my Warlock because I already had a 70, and I was like, oh, this is real close to 90 comparatively, so I'll just start with this. Wasn't having much fun on it, so I went with my prop paladin who is level 34, and that has been super fun. Also, when you're tanking, leveling is just lightning fast because you just get dungeon queue after dungeon queue. It's just instant. So that's been good. Played a decent amount of BF4 as well this week. Still playing that game. Still enjoy it thoroughly. I have avoided China Rising though, I must say.
Yeah,
those
I don't
maps,
enjoy the maps at all.
like, isn't that they're bad? I don't think it's that they're just not as good as the stock maps. Like,
the VOD 311 or whatever is like the best
Yeah.
fucking map ever.
It's like the
It's
greatest
so
map.
fucking good.
Yeah, and so I don't know. That's pretty much all I've been doing. Trying to think if I played anything else, but I think a lot of Isaac on stream. Got back into that a little bit. Had some really good runs last week, and when you have good runs in that game, you want to keep playing it. But see, RNG in that game, which is a lot of the game, I feel like I can outskill that sometimes. In Hearthstone, I just feel like, well, I didn't get these cards at this point, so I'm pretty much fucked.
Yeah, the thing about the trouble with the game of Hearthstone is that you can be pretty much fucked by, like, turn 2. If the other person gets good board advantage and you're just scrambling to pick up after everything that after having, like, a bad turn 1, you can just be fucked from then on out. Like, I have literally had people, like, just recently I had that turn 1 play where I dropped a Mana Worm and then a Illusion in one turn, and then I have a 3/3 and 2/0/2 taunts, and they've just been done from that point. There's absolutely nothing they could do. They can scramble and try to control the board, but if they're not getting the right draws, like, he was a shaman, so I don't know if he was waiting on, like, a lightning storm that would have saved him, but if you don't get those pulls, then you're fucked. It's so random.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a card game, though, but it's maybe just a little bit more so than other card games.
Like Nick said, I think the fact that it's only 30, like, if those key cards are buried in the last 10,
yeah,
good luck, dude.
Yeah, and like when you get to that point, like, you know it's coming too, where it's like, I'm playing a mage and he has 10 cards left, and he hasn't played his flame strikes yet. So see you guys.
Let me just go ahead and not play any creatures for the rest of the game.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. But that's been.
I feel like 50 card decks would be better. I feel like it would just be a better way to do it.
Yeah, maybe like 50 cards and still allow 2. I mean, they have so many cards and they could easily add more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of cards that go unused just because they're not valued enough.
a lot of cards.
Yeah. What is Magic? Is it like 60?
Magic is
60 is
I thought
60
Magic
minimum
was
for
whatever.
tournament.
60 minimum. You can go to whatever you want.
60 minimum. Almost every professional deck you see, and a lot of casual decks too, are always going to be exactly 60 because it's hard to. Because it also has a card limit in Magic, but it's 4 cards. But you're going to want 4 like really good cards. I think some cards you're only allowed to have 1. And you want to pretty much guarantee that you're drawing the things that are putting together your strategy in Magic. So in order to decrease the chances of you getting something that has nothing to do with that strategy, then you're going to want to keep as few cards in your deck as possible. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So pretty much everything's always going to be 60 in Magic.
Yep, that's about it for me though.
All right. What about Hex? Go Hex.
Pretty much just WoW this week.
Yeah.
Spunk Barrage. Spunk Barrage.
What a
Best
tremendous
name in the
name.
history of World of Warcraft. I don't know where that came from and how you thought of that, but you win. I'm not going to make fun of you for like a year just because of that name.
I wanted to use. I tried to put Spunk something else in, and it flagged it. It was like, no, you can't have that name. And Barrage was like, okay, well, that's close to what I don't even remember what I originally wanted, but that was close, and that worked out. So I played that. I re-rolled onto Mal'Ganis with everybody else because we were on Storm Scale before. Played a bunch of that. Playing that now actually. Most of this week has just been watching awesome games done quick for me.
Yes. Amen. Same.
All I have done
for all of us.
So many.
Yeah, definitely.
Awful Games Done Quick was one of the best segments I've seen in my life.
That was pretty excellent.
Some of the games they played were so fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. Please continue.
No, like
some of the
they
only
actually
times
were.
where I have that stream up on my left monitor at work and at home, and I probably watched actually 50% of it. Like every waking hour, I had it on.
Yeah, I had it on at work. Like even like at one point, my boss was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing my job, and I'm watching this." And because he knows what speedruns are somehow, he was like, "All right, well, never mind. Just as long as you do your job, whatever." So a lot of that, like I watched the Trihex Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island run, which was out of this world. That guy's got a crazy. He says 150 actions per minute on a Super Nintendo game, which is incredible.
They had a
really
controller cam for him. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was really good. The Mega Man stuff was really good. Cool Kid's run of Quake was amazing. I think Cool Kid also ran.
F-Zero was the most impressive to me.
See, I was bummed that one was so late I
game
couldn't
is
watch
so hard.
Cool Kid's Half-Life run was also amazing.
Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge
was really
fucking
good.
Oven Donkey was hitting so many skips. He was so good. I love him.
Yeah, that was excellent. But yeah, mostly just WoW, and then I played a little bit of the new Zelda for 3DS. I played some more of that, but that's pretty much it. Mostly WoW and Awesome Games Done Quick this week.
Cool. Okay. BLA.
World of Warcraft as well. Still continuing on that shaman grind. I opted to faction transfer my shaman as well as server transfer him, which I found out is pointless because you can actually queue up with people on like any server. Like I'm currently running with my friend who's on Stormscale actually. So I completely wasted like $25 or something. But at the same time, I'm also now a goblin, and all goblins, for those of you who don't know, are basically tiny green Danny DeVitos. So that was an excellent decision as far as faction transferring. Also, the rocket jump racial is like my favorite thing ever. But aside from that, I played a couple of different things on stream the past few weeks. I ended up beating Risk of Rain for the second time, I think, but the first time on stream, definitely. Actually, I think it was the first time I played on stream, and I managed to beat it. But I was also playing Huntress, which is like a really, really easy class compared to what I was playing before, which is Bandit. And Huntress is kind of like, unlocking Huntress is kind of just a matter of playing the game until you get it. It's just sort of a grind. Because each class is unlocked a different way and whatnot. But really good game. Really good game. Highly recommended. It's really difficult to get into. It's one of those games. It's one of those roguelikes I feel it gets easier as you continue to play it. I don't know about anybody else. Anybody else?
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you get to kind of learn how the patterns work and how the levels are kind of laid out.
There's that, but there's also the fact that you actually unlock more items as you continue to play. As you continue to unlock complete different achievements inside the game, it basically gives you new items that might drop. And that's it's useful because all of those items are basically really good. As you know, almost everyone. Every now and then you'll get a new item that it unlocking is actually disadvantaged for you because it's a shit item, and sometimes you'll open a chest and that drops instead of something worthwhile. But anyway, I highly recommend it. I feel like I played something else this week, but I can't really remember. I did pretty much just watch Awesome Games Done Quick, like while grinding in dungeons and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the Awful Games Done Quick was so good to watch. That was just...
It was fun.
It was just absurd. They had a racing game that was full of like animals that were racing, and it was so poorly programmed, and on top of that was like a religious game. It was like a religious, like, pretty much propaganda game. And I'm pretty sure the announcer was supposed to be God, because he sounded all like deep and booming voice and echoey. So he would... And it was like really, of course, very poorly voice acted. So it would be like, ready, set, go. And the game was completely broken. The game was completely broken. The more directional keys you held down to move, the faster you would move. So you would basically be moving 4 times faster than you were intended to. So they'd be rocketing all over like as a jaguar that was like poorly animated as hell. It was really funny. It was a really funny game.
That's awesome.
I also managed to catch the SNES game that ran at about like 2 FPS. It was a awareness game, like an educational game about a superhero that had diabetes, and he would go around fighting like pretzels and shit, like pretzels and like.
Yeah, this
candy.
actually occurred. Yeah.
Those were all the enemies. This was an actual game, and then one of the speedrunners was like, "Well, like, I have diabetes, and my grandma got this for me or something like when he was a kid, so he's been speedrunning this game ever since." It was really hilarious. I caught a lot of that. Also, the guy who speedran GoldenEye 64, in conjunction with 2 guys, did it at the same time, where basically one of them was controlling the movement and the other one was controlling the aiming, more or less. There was this weird sort of sort of patched out of the game control scheme where one person would move and one person would aim, so they basically played with 2 controllers, and it was insane and also really funny because the guy. Every time something good happened, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, baby, nice job, baby," and it sounded like he was calling his partner baby, which was pretty funny. I don't think he realized that's what it sounded like, but it was like, it kind of made him seem like a gay couple, which I am totally behind. So
that's how they met on the
dude. If you're watching that, that's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's what you're going for, and if that is, I'm totally in support of you, your lifestyle. But if I don't think that's what you meant, and I think you should probably know that. But that's what I did this week.
Okay, John, what about you?
I mean, I've been playing a little bit of WoW. I'm kind of just hanging out, waiting for everybody else to catch up. I'm leveling a monk on the side just out of boredom. But I played a ton of Counter-Strike and a ton of Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is a much better game when you turn off all of the eye candy, run everything on low, and put it on DirectX 10 and get 300 FPS. It's just more fun that way. I can actually see shit. I can play, I can play really well because everything just pops out now without all of the eye candy, so it's fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, I played a couple ARAMs with Brandon at work. I think 1 ARAM actually because I hate the game, and that's about it.
Okay. Nick?
Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
Smite. Since everybody was playing WoW and talking about it on Twitter, I was kind of tempted, so I was like, nah, I'm not going to spend money. I'm going to get my grind fixed somewhere else, and so I started playing Torchlight 2.
Great
which
game.
is fun.
Not a bad choice.
You playing any mods or just vanilla?
I haven't I've been looking at some like UI stuff, but I haven't really found anything that's too gonna mix it up enough to. It doesn't really matter, but Nether, we played that last night and it was fucking awesome.
Yep. One another. All right. So I'll go. I guess my last one. Did I skip anyone? I think I'm last. Yeah, I'll go.
Brandon.
So, Brandon. I'm sorry. All right, go, Brandon.
Cool.
It's okay.
I don't even know that I want to go now.
You know what, Brandon? I want you to go. Listen, Brandon, please tell me what you've been
This
doing.
would never happen on the Giant Bomb podcast.
That's true.
That's because Brandon would never be on that podcast. They would never invite him onto that.
Wow.
Bang.
Rude as fuck.
They would let you on.
Bang,
Incredibly
bang.
rude.
From one of the rudest people I know.
Brandon will not come back at you because your character's name is Spunk Barrage.
That's true.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll let it
That's
slide.
overriding and everything. Hexes can be a monster because he has that character.
Admittedly, you have gained a stay from insults for that for a while. So we talked about Hearthstone. I don't know why I got way into Hearthstone this week, but I was just having a lot more fun with it, I think, since I've actually using, the cards that I've been accumulating over the past couple months playing the game. So I played a lot of that, and was watching Hearthstone streams and stuff. Played a little bit of BF4. We played, John and I played some CS:GO matchmaking a little bit the other night, which is actually, and some DayZ, which was not very good because there was hardly any loot anywhere. So I don't know. I didn't really have a lot of fun with DayZ. Like the few times that I've gotten into it so far, I just haven't been able to find anything that's made me want to continue playing. So I mean, hopefully they add more loot or something over time. And I actually played Gone Home last night, which was really, really good. I mean, I'm sure you guys have talked about it a lot, but it's a beautiful game. Like just the experience. I don't even know if it's like, it's one of those weird kind of experiences and not really a game kind of things, but I really enjoyed going through it and just kind of you definitely come out at the end with like what the game creator intended you to come out with, I think. So that was cool, and just a lot of AGDQ. Like, I mean, literally staying up much later than I should have because there was a run happening at like 3 a.m. Pacific, and I was like, I kind of want to see that, and just seeing like Barkley shut up and jam Gaiden.
Oh,
incredible!
I wanted to see that so bad. I'm so sad I missed it.
Bastion,
that was
17 minutes.
So good.
Like,
Bastion in 17 minutes. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, just every run blew my mind. Like, there was not really a bad run in the whole thing, but that whole event was really cool. So yeah, definitely, I've been glued to the computer for the past week, either gaming or watching gaming.
The only thing with that whole event that I really think they should rethink, if you're going to do it when they do it, is they did Fire Emblem at a really weird time, and it was like something that everybody could really watch, and it was excruciating. It was planned for 2 hours.
Super painful. Yeah.
There was no one in the room with the guy who was like cosplayed as someone from Sailor Moon, and he went over by like 45 minutes because he couldn't even finish the speedrun in the projected time, and it was really hard to watch. Like, I turned it off. I was like, this is not fun. And you could like tell in the room, even the people there were just like,
people there
just
were
make
like,
it end. Just I can't.
Please, we gotta move on. He put them way behind. So,
well, admittedly,
what game was that?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem something.
It's so difficult to put on an event that runs for a week straight, 24 hours.
Yeah, no.
And the fact that they only really had like maybe once or twice, where it didn't go to plan, is pretty amazing.
I struggled.
Most of their estimates.
I struggled making a 45-hour schedule for us, let alone fucking 7 days. Jesus.
They also really need to get somebody who knows PC streaming a lot better than what they do, because I felt really bad for the Super Meat Boys guys. Had really hard time with their streams. They had constant frame skips and just really bad drops. In like, there would be whole levels that disappeared during the run because like
I think they were also on Windows 8, which I think was part of the problem.
Now
they
you
were on
said
Windows
that,
8.
we're all just like,
I would assume,
okay. All right.
I would assume when they run it normally on their home computers, most of them are probably on Windows 7. So
yeah.
There's a lot of that stuff. I mean, it gets better every year. Like this year, I think.
No, this is pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Really,
and I agree, for a week-long stream, the small amount of technical problems they had are very impressive. I felt so bad. I think it was during the Yoshi's Island run, the fire alarm went off at the hotel, and they had to empty the entire room.
And the guy ran back and saved a stuffed animal.
Saved the stuffed animal.
I actually was like, if I was there and I was one of the organizers, I would not have left. I would have said, like, fuck no, I'm not leaving all this equipment. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like...
I don't know if that's an option when the fire alarm goes off.
Dan would have burned in the fire.
I would have burned. Yeah.
Dan would have gone down with his equipment. Okay.
That shit gets stolen from those types of events so often. Like.
Oh yeah. Well, at least with that, they didn't. I don't think they killed the stream the entire time.
No, the stream was on. So that dude would have been caught if someone had tried.
I don't know. The firemen take too kindly to you just like ignoring the fire alarm and being like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here." And they're like, "Yeah, no, you're not."
Steal my stuff.
Going down with this very expensive technological ship.
Anything else, Brandon?
No, that's about it.
All right, I will go real quick. As just to add, watched so much awesome games done quick this week. That was majority of my time playing Nether as well, and I really said this past couple weeks, but Nether is shaping up to be a really good. I don't know, at least in beta right now, it's really fun.
I'll have to play it with you then, because I thought it was fucking garbage.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you get with a group and everything, it's really fun. Playing League as always, and then what else? Did I play anything else? I'm trying to think. Not really. So, all right, I think that wraps up what we've been doing. But we have oh boy, we have a battle to be waged coming up here over Game of the Year from KBMOD, and
before we do Game of the Year, are we going to talk CES at all, or are we saving that until next week?
We should,
just Oculus Rift's all I cared about there.
Frankly, we can talk about it real quick because really it was Oculus. The new Oculus prototype is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Everything I heard about it was really, really good. And actually, the thing I'm most excited about is that they're really focusing on fixing the motion sickness and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I actually experienced that when we tried it at PAX. I got that pretty badly. I was actually ready to get out when I did. And so I'm really happy that they're focusing not just on improving it, from a resolution standpoint, but actually helping to fix some of the stuff that, that makes people not able to actually use it for very long.
When you played with it, did you play with the original prototype or the HD prototype?
Yeah.
No. This was the 1080p one at PAX Prime.
I didn't know if because the original was 720p, and then they upscaled it to 1080.
The original I think was 480.
The original was 480.
Oh, okay. Then they had a 720. I think the one we used at PAX Prime was 1080. It looked great.
It was. It was just the first version of it.
Yeah, playing Hawken looked great, but it just made me. I can't even really describe what it was because I don't know that it's a feeling I've gotten before. But I just didn't feel good when I was, the very tail end of it. And so I got out and I was kind of ready to be done with it, even though I was very impressed with it because I think that stuff is cool. But helping to fix it where people can actually use it for an hour or two or more at a time is pretty important to get someone to want to buy something that's going to be a couple $100 or more.
Yeah, and it's all 1080p now, and they've got the pixel latency, which they said was a bit of a problem, is way down. I think they cut it in half, and there's a lot more motion sensors on it now than there was, and better head tracking and things. It won best in show.
It's an OLED screen.
It won best in show for The Verge.
And it actually is going to ship with a camera now. Is how the motion tracking works. If you saw they're calling it the Crystal Cove prototype. Yeah. The front of it has all these little dots that the camera can pick up to give you accurate head tracking.
Yeah. But as far as CS, I mean,
Steam machines.
I wasn't really hyped on any of those because none of them were kind of a cheaper streaming version, which is what I would have personally been interested in. But also some of them were just downright outrageous, and I was kind of disheartened. There was only one or two kind of console replacement type versions. The rest were all $1,200, $2,000, dollars, very, very expensive. One interesting thing that doesn't really apply to us or a lot of people probably listening / watching this podcast is Razer's Project Christine, which I thought was very cool, an extremely cool prototype. It's a modular PC. Every part is liquid cooled, and it kind of fits in this neat tower thing.
I watched the video on that. It was
it's cool. Yeah. I think it's very cool. I think Razer, I don't actually like Razer products all that much, but I think that Razer's way of going about hardware and thinking about things like this is way far ahead of most other hardware companies.
Well, they're at least being creative.
We're gonna try shit. Let's just fucking try it. It's
they're making a bunch of stuff that I kind of think is dumb. But when I look at it as a whole, they're pushing out new products, whereas a lot of companies are just making a new mouse, making a new keyboard. Yeah. It's Razer is at least sort of pushing the envelope and challenging people to, to be hey, this could be really awesome.
Yeah, and
they're reinvesting in things, which is great. Like, you know, their profit margins on mice and keyboards are retarded. Like, it's it's retarded. So they're just going out and spending their money on other stuff. Maybe it's awesome, maybe it's not. Who cares? You know, it's like, we have this money, and rather than just lining our pockets with it, let's try to create something cool, and maybe eventually somebody will embrace something.
Do I ever see Project Christine making an actual appearance as a product? No. I don't, because it's cheaper to build your own PC.
Now, yeah, I mean, I would really like the Project Christine idea if it was an actual sex doll that had a computer inside of it. So it would actually solve your sexual needs and actually have a modular PC.
Is there a fleshlight module I could put on the tower?
Because then I'm in.
The thing about it was, I heard this on, I think it was on a Verge, one of the Verge like live casts from there, is that Razer was thinking of, and this may be seriously out of thin air from some CES coverage, but that Razer was thinking about doing like, so we put out Project Christine, and it comes like with pre-built, you know, you like select a tier or whatever, you know, maybe it's 500, maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's $2,000.
You know it gonna be 500.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is, but then, you know, we charge you a monthly fee, and you can upgrade parts during that year on a certain path, and like, but to me, it's like, and the monthly fee was thrown out there was like $60. So if you're spending $720 in a year, yes, that's probably cheaper than building a PC each year, but no one is building every year except John. No one's doing that.
That was the most interesting thing that there was definitely an article, like an editorial on The Verge, that said this would open up kind of like a subscription service for your PC, where it's like, okay, well, in 6 months you'll get a new video card. You just pay us like $60 or $70 a month, and that adds up to like a new GPU in every 6 months. And that was a really interesting concept to me. That of all the things that came out of it, seems like
it's an interesting concept. I just think it's there's never going to be a price-effective way to do a subscription service on a PC.
I guess I could see Project Christine being useful if you have a lot of money and you're super lazy. Like not even super lazy, but you're just like, I don't want to bother with a fucking gaming PC. Like, I don't want to bother with a traditional gaming PC. I will get this thing, and I will put these parts in, and they will just work. Because that is how this...
But if you're lazy, you shouldn't be an early adopter, because this
I know. I'm saying in the future of this, like, that is the market. Yeah. Like, I don't think the market is PC gamers at large. Like, it's a PC for gaming, so I don't know who else you're.
I just think like I do think it's a cool idea, and again, like, props to Razer for trying something different. But if you're trying to get someone to buy into the idea of like PC as components that you can swap in and out, those kind of people are probably already interested in building their own PC. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna get the person that is buying a console or just wants something that just works and like have them pay a subscription fee to swap stuff in and out. If they're into changing parts out, they're just gonna build their own PC. It's not that big a leap.
So that was pretty much what I saw from CES, at least gaming related. There was a lot of like self-driving cars and resolution screens that nobody fucking needs.
Did you see the Origin?
I'd like to chime in and say, like, the hardest part about building a PC is knowing what parts to buy. Building the computer is not hard, and anybody can do that.
It really is.
So if somebody is interested in investing in the Christine because they get these parts upgraded and whatnot, like, that's just ass backwards. Like, learn what parts to build, learn what parts to buy, and you're fine forever. Because building a computer is not hard.
That's why I think the Steam machines, like the Steam machines, are potentially a better way to go about it, because it's PC hardware, but you're just saying, here, buy this thing. It's just gonna work. It plays Steam games, and that's an easier sell. Even though, like, my concern with the Steam machines is that there are going to be so many different configurations. Like, they announced 13 hardware partners at CES. It's like there are going to be so many different configurations of Steam machines that at a certain point we're just talking about the PC market.
Yeah, it's just PCs. Like, it's.
I think this seems awful machines, for a consumer having that many different versions. It's like, that just seems bad.
I think Valve needs to specify like a low, medium, high tier and say
Yeah.
whoever wants to partner with us can build a Steam machine, but you have to build them to these low, medium, high specifications so that people making games for Steam OS can target, three specs and know that that's what's going to be in a Steam machine. Because that's why developing for the PC is hard. You're developing for thousands of different hardware combinations. If Valve can limit that to 3, 4, 5, even 10, just so developers can have a finite number of configurations they have to test against, I think that would go a long way to helping people see the benefit in buying a Steam machine versus just building a PC.
Right. So that is it for CES. We'll probably talk a little more about CES next week when we have a full-fledged news section. But we're going to take a 2-minute commercial break, and then we're going to be back with the Game of the Year for 2013. Finally, the awards are over. 2 minutes, we'll be right back. Yeah, everything was just there was a fucking 12K machine in the Origin PC booth running a racing game.
They were running Project Cars.
No, it wasn't Project Cars. It was That Driving Game or something, I believe it's called. It's they
did the 4X 4K running G-Sync monitors, which was really, really neat.
Yeah, and it's it was 4 Titans, quad Titans, because they needed 6 gigabytes of RAM to handle 1.5 billion pixels at once. Nothing else can handle the throughput. But CES does have a lot of vaporware or stuff that will never come out of sort of development. But the best thing for me was I feel in 10 years self-driving cars are going to be a thing. That's just going to be on the
10
roads.
years?
Yeah, I really do see
10?
10. Do you think earlier? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think it would take longer.
Oh, really?
That's a lot of infrastructure.
After seeing some of the stuff that they had done with I guess it was Audi and in Vegas, where they had to literally interface the car with the entire traffic light system, I would say it's a little longer than that.
I don't think so. I really don't. Mainly because Google's in on this. That's a big part of it. But they
got to get Google Plus working first.
I don't think they care.
I don't want to have to make a Google Plus account just to drive a car.
I'm never going to have to teach my kids to drive. They're just going to hop in. It's just going to take them there.
And have a fucking Google Plus account.
Less than 10 I'm seeing in chat. And RxZ works with cars. So he thinks less than 10. I did hit
that literally is a car.
Did it not roll it? I hit it.
I was just asking.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying
Did it not go?
Well, let's run 4 or 5 more just to make sure. Spam it.
It probably did. I'm just asking.
And I would not get in a car if it drove itself.
No, I don't see it in the chat. No, it said last commercial. Okay. It ran. It never told me.
I saw Dell dropped a cheap 4K monitor, and then the fine print of that was that it only runs at 30 hertz.
Yeah. That's what most of them do. Well, the Asus one does run at 60, I believe, but
it's okay, so you're getting a 4K monitor that's garbage in every other respect.
Yep.
But it's 4K! It's the future!
By the way, if you're sitting here right now and you're like, I want a 4K TV, I'm going to get one of those Seikis.
You're dumb.
No, you're not going to
They're
get one of those.
30 hertz, and they're fucking horrendous. Don't do it. They're cheap, but that's about the only upside.
For good reason.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Where's Pamela? All right, there she is.
You know, I'll get 2 of those TVs, and you know what I'll have? Dos Seiki.
I want to die. Okay,
I wish I could see your face right now. That smug look.
I'm really ashamed right now.
So, all right. So we've been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 awards thus far. And real quick, best live stream game was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. That was our best live stream game. Obviously, that didn't come out this year. Crysis 3 and Battlefield 4 tied for best graphics quality / technical achievement. Best esports title, Dota 2. That was a heated one. Best story in a PC title was Gone Home. Best multiplayer game was Dota 2.
That game sucked too.
Best indie game was also Gone Home, winning all the awards.
God.
Biggest letdown, these were not positive ones and obviously will not be up for Game of the Year, but Sim City in a runaway.
Oh, yeah.
Biggest letdown of the year.
Good job.
Shocking. Really shocking.
And worst Game of the Year, this one was hotly debated because there was a lot of shit this year. Ride to Hell Retribution narrowly over Day One Gary's Incident for the victory.
Just barely.
And single player co-op Game of the Year, BioShock Infinite. Actually retitled recently to BioDoge Infinite Memes. So those are the winners of the other awards. But now we talk about the big one, the Game of the Year. And we have several games on this list, although it is a shorter list. And Tabes is on here too, but he isn't really a game per se.
Technically.
Well, it wasn't released this year.
Tabes was definitely not released this year. But, all right, on the list, let's just get right into it. First one, BioShock Infinite. I think it's going to make the cut. I think it's going to make the cut.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it's a little too well received not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So BioShock Infinite obviously makes the first round. Gone Home. Several people now have played it. I think I have not played it, but I think from all the praise and the fact that it's already won two awards here, and I think Gone Home has to stick through a first round of cuts.
Yeah, I think
good with that.
Having just played it,
let it stick, like sticky rice.
Sticky
Go
pea,
for some sticky penis rice right now.
God, I'm going to see Rob
You're making sticky penis rice. You need to see a doctor. And please don't tell us a gross real life anecdote.
You know what the two ingredients for that are? Two ingredients are semen and rice, and you can eat for the rest of your life. It's a simple meal.
I don't think that's...
That is a thing.
You become your own food factory.
Jesus
That's right.
Christ.
You just recycle, man. That's it. It's all good.
Tim in chat saying we're lucky he's running Strathhome because he would not let Gone Home make the cut. Tim, you liked Arkham Origins as an original story, and it's not an original story, so you don't know what you're talking about.
Batman punches a bunch of
dudes.
Batman
punches things. Joker involved. Other enemies. Batman wins. I've read this comic before. All right, this third game, I shall fight tooth and nail for it to make the cut. Tomb Raider. It was the best overall experience I had this year.
I'd say it makes it the first round. I had a lot of fun with that game.
I think
I wouldn't
it is,
disagree.
NFEN. I think it has to make the first round of cuts, personally. Tomb Raider it came out and redid a character that was completely shallow before, made her into something a lot better, and the game is fantastic. That's gonna
I take issue with everyone saying that she was shallow before. Come on, do we know that? Are we sure? Were we only getting to see one side of?
If you have to use the phrase "do we know that," then the answer is yes.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We only know the side that the game developers showed us of Lara. We didn't see her when she wasn't in front of the camera, and she may have been a very deep individual that was just cast in a poor light. So
you know that when she isn't in front of the camera, that means Maya got closed, right? Like there isn't anything after that.
Well,
like she's thrust into a difficult situation.
What an appropriate word to use for Lara. Thrust.
Or do you want to judge this based off of the Angelina Jolie movies? Is that what you?
Yeah, that's true. I would like to go off of that. I feel like she was pretty layered in this.
I'd like to thrust into. Angelina.
Can we make a game based around that, like a drinking game or something, and then vote for the movie as Game of the Year since we came up with the game this year? Or
so
actually, it would have to wait until 2014.
You want to drink and thrust into Angelina Jolie and then call it a game, and then vote for it next year.
That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let's just call it Game of the Year 2014. All right, podcast over. Done.
All right, this next game, Battlefield 4. I love this game.
It's a good game.
I don't know that it makes this cut because this is Game of the Year, and you have to take every single thing
as a
into
package,
account.
nah.
As a package, this game was broken as shit.
Wait, so we're not removing points on Tomb Raider for its multiplayer, but we are removing points from Battlefield for its single.
Oh,
I don't think its
shots
multiplayer
fired.
is relevant.
Shots fired.
relevant.
It's the whole package, Daniel. It's the
I
whole
guess
package.
so, but like, I don't. A Tomb Raider makes it on that single player. It's that strong. I don't care what that multiplayer is.
I think we're still in the mindset that multiplayer is optional, but single player has to be taken as part of the experience, which really isn't true.
There was a single player to Battlefield 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, like
there's that, but I mean, Battlefield 4 is.
See, I think you got to look at it if you're going to make that argument. No,
I
go
actually think that is a good point because they put multiplayer in the game. I think there's something to be said for a game like BioShock where they focused on single player. There was no multiplayer aspect, and even like Gone Home, right? There's no Gone Home multiplayer because that was the point of the game.
I don't even know that the developers, if you ask them, would have been like, yeah, we really wanted to put a multiplayer in there.
But I'm saying that factors into it. They were checking a box.
Like, they had to check a box, though, or else Ubisoft isn't going to publish that game.
They didn't make it good.
That's also not our responsibility. That doesn't matter.
But do the two cancel each other out? Because you don't care about Battlefield 4 single player.
Shit on Crysis 3 multiplayer. It was not that bad. I played a
Crysis 3
lot of it.
multiplayer is quite good.
Crysis 3 multiplayer is good.
Nobody
it's
plays
just unpopulated.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider single player is so good, and that's why you bought it. I didn't even know it had multiplayer when I bought it.
I didn't either.
Like,
yeah,
you don't. Cancel one another out though, because like if you want to look at it as Tomb Raider's multiplayer is meaningless, so is Battlefield 4 single player.
Yeah, exactly. That's a shit single player generic shooter campaign. But
and
that's not why I'm
getting removed from this list.
Yeah, but that's not why. It has nothing to do with its single player. It's getting removed because it was a broken mess for a month plus.
I would personally remove it for both reasons, because no one cares about the single player. That's a box that they're checking, and it's broken.
Well, in Crysis 3, you can just cross it off right now, because that single player is uncompelling as shit.
Yeah, that does. Yeah,
and nobody plays the multiplayer.
I put that on this list solely because it won an award in another category.
I think Tomb Raider stays because Tomb Raider might, like, the multiplayer might not be relevant, but it wasn't broken as shit when it launched. Like, it was a full playable, interesting experience.
That's got that over Battlefield. You could play multiplayer if you wanted at launch. The game wasn't crashing constantly.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying Tomb Raider should be removed. But I think that's a good point to remember for Game of the Year is that you have to take the game in its entirety. And if they include it,
I love Gone Home's multiplayer.
You know what needs to happen though is more developers need to be like the Spec Ops: The Line dudes. And
okay, let's stop talking. Yeah, that multiplayer was even. I'm not even going to talk about the multiplayer or the single player because the multiplayer was fucking trash.
No. This is. Do you not remember all the stuff surrounding that?
What?
The devs, I believe the devs had a lawsuit afterwards to EA for like detriment of the product because of they didn't want to. They they told all the the publisher board guys and stuff. They were like, no, there's no point to this in this game, and it was forced upon them. If I could go back and if I had played Spec Ops in 2012. It would have definitely been up for a Game of the Year consideration for me. That's how much I like the single player. Like, the multiplayer shit because they just throw it in there. Like,
I think in the age of Steam sales and the fact that a lot of times, like if you have a good game that doesn't have isn't compelling as a multiplayer game, people are going to pick it up on sale. And something like Tomb Raider. Or any game really, like any game that has some multiplayer that isn't really isn't the sort of the cornerstone of the game, that just gets relegated to complete obscurity, and like all of the resources that you spent on developing that multiplayer part could have just made the single player part better.
100% agree with you, but I don't think there's anything that a developer can do in that AAA world right now. If EA or Ubisoft or whoever it is says we want to tack multiplayer onto your game, or your game has to be multiplayer. Like, what are they going to do? Say no, and like we can't put it out? Spec Ops tried that, and it didn't go very well.
No, I'm just making a comment like on the industry alone. I think we're gonna. I hope that we see. I hope that we see more games focus on like the core competency of the game and the team that's making it. And if you have strong creatives who can make a great single player experience, make it single player. If you have guys who are well versed in multiplayer, you think you can make an awesome multiplayer game, do that. But like, don't compromise on the quality of either one of those to make it both, just so that you can check both of those boxes.
Also, I will, on a side note, chat is tearing into each other, and I like it.
Yeah, it's good. I like watching you guys kill each other. It's great.
All right, so this next one.
No, this award means a lot.
It does.
This is the award that the entire industry holds its breath to see when KBMOD will name its game of the year.
Well, let me say this, Scott. I think we're more important than the VGX awards at this point.
Well, absolutely.
I've taken shit's more important than the VGX awards.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, Dota 2. It's the only multiplayer game.
Single player was bad.
The tutorial is shit.
No, sure.
I think it has to make it. It is.
Yeah, it'll make it.
Yes, it's been around for a while, but full version comes out. It is the top played game on Steam by about 500% over like anything else. It's a free-to-play game done completely correctly as far as like microtransactions and that kind of thing. I don't know that we can say a whole lot of bad about Dota 2. It makes the cut.
There is no bad.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I put this on here because Tetra is so stoked about it. It's gotten good reviews pretty much everywhere. And if he was here, I tried to get him here this week. I could not get a hold of him, but he would have voted for this. But none of the rest of us have played it, I don't think.
I'm thinking about it. I might try it up.
I've heard only really good things, so props to them for keeping Assassin's Creed somehow fresh, according to most sources. A game that should have been shit by all rights, but was pretty good by all accounts. So, but I don't think we can. I don't think we can put this in our list, as none of us have played it. So
nope. Sorry, mate.
All right.
I don't play video games.
It's true. You just play hat simulators.
Yep.
And occasionally WoW. The Swapper.
WoW is a video game. It's a job.
The Swapper. The Swapper is extremely strong first effort from those guys over there. A 3-man team did that game. Everything is in claymation. Fantastic puzzles, fantastic story, fantastic atmosphere. I did want to highlight it. That's why it's on here. Do I think it stands up to the 4 that have already made it? Probably not.
I really like that game, and I voted for it for best single-player co-op, but it doesn't stack up against any of this stuff.
So you should go play the Swapper. I believe it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $10 when it's not on sale. So go get it.
Once it goes on sale, like under $5, I'm gonna grab it because it seems like one of those games that you will absolutely want to pick up on like the next Steam sale.
It's extremely good, and you should definitely check it out. And Scott is adding a picture of some type. I can't wait to see what it is.
All the hell.
Loaded. Damn. All right.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
All right.
Takes a second sometimes.
Up next, The Stanley Parable. Now, our problem with this last week was, is it a game?
Right.
What the fuck?
A Nick Fenton special.
Jesus.
Get the fuck off my screen, Scott. Get that off my screen. I'm offended.
No. No. No.
I can't. The description.
All right. Anyway. Stanley Parable. Can it make a cut on this? I think it's incredible.
I don't think so.
But
I think, again, that's not a game for everybody, though. There's going to be some people who play it that are like, dude, what the fuck did I just play?
Or won't find it funny, or...
Let me ask a really simple question. Does it have any chance of winning against these other games?
No.
No.
Scratch it.
No.
Can I bring up the point that I think it's really hard to rate quality for like a Game of the Year sort of title and not take price into account.
True.
Because like the value of something like Gone Home or the Stanley Parable or the Swapper, I think is when you look at that compared to $60, $50 like Battlefield 4, Tomb Raider, BioShock, it's I mean like that helps them come so much closer to like Game of the Year candidates in my mind. But if you take price out of the equation, it's so hard to stand up to like some of the top-notch AAA experiences.
I mean, I don't know. The Stanley Parable is an amazing remake of that mod. Literally everything is better than the mod. Like it's done in a fantastic job. I mean, yes, the quality factor, but then how do you fuck up Battlefield 4 so bad with that kind of budget? Or SimCity?
Because EA.
Like, you can say that and like that it should help these games, but I mean.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I look at it that way for, like, even something like BioShock, which I think is really awesome, these games that only cost $5, $10, $15, when I think of it in terms of, like, did I get 4 times the experience out of BioShock that I did out of a game like this, it's really hard to say that I did.
Okay.
Well, that might actually open up.
We should have had a value. We should have had a best value of the year.
I almost feel like there is sort of another category. It's like best value, but then you have Steam sales and things that really muddy up that water. Because I think BioShock hasn't it gone on sale for $30 at this point.
BioShock and Tomb Raider were both $10 on the Christmas sale.
I think if we take
BioShock Infinite was not $10.
Infinite was in a pack where you could get it with both other BioShock games for $15. It was a $5 game before the end of the year.
It was cheap. It was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, so that makes it really difficult to call. But I just think I was more bringing it up as like just a point of discussion. That I think
if you mostly focus on what it launched at.
Yeah. Right. I think the Stanley Parable. What is it? $20 normally? I think. Maybe
it was 15.
If you're going off based on the price it launched at, Gone Home wouldn't even be on the list. It was $20 for a 2-hour game.
Definitely not be on best value. That's for sure. Yeah. Neither would a game like it.
And I loved that game, but
I just don't think you can take like sales into account. Like, BioShock was $10, but it's also been out for almost a year.
Yeah. No, Allshan has the perfect reason for Stanley Parable to fit. It perfected everything that it was trying to do. Like everything about the mod was this guy was given money and put out a retail product, and the retail product was much better than the mod. Like everything was done better than the mod. So
and even like the demo for Stanley Parable was really good. Like the demo was not even exactly the same game. Like it was actually
like a 20-30 minute experience.
The demo was good on its own. So like I almost think that factors in like the execution of mod to then the demo of the full game to the full game, I think was incredibly well done.
So I think Stanley Parable makes it. And you have put a check mark by it. So all right. Risk of Rain. If you want to talk value, this might be your best one.
That's a $10 game that has sustained me at work for a lot of time.
It's Isaac-esque in the amount of hours that can be put into Risk of Rain.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that game, especially with the increased difficulty level and everything. I would like to see that game get expanded a little bit in terms of like how long a run lasts. Even though, I mean, to be fair, a run could last an hour, but I would like to see, maybe like Isaac has multiple levels that you could go to, like the cathedral, whatever that area is called, and Mom's uterus, or whatever the fuck. Like, it's kind of lacking that sort of expansiveness, but it is really interesting. It's a really great value for $10. I've sunk already probably about 40 hours into it, and I'm still shit at it. So, but yeah, I would honestly keep this on. But that might just be me.
I think the quality of that game...
I haven't played it. I can't really have an input.
But
yeah, I haven't either, but
it's a fantastic roguelike. Again, this is one of those things where, for instance, if I had played Isaac during any of our game deliberations, obviously Isaac would have been on a list like this for me. So I think Risk of Rain makes it. I think it's again, a $10 game that you can get hundreds of hours out of if you really want to. It's extremely hard, extremely tight controls, well done. So I think it makes it. All right, this next game, I tried to get Mark in the call just now, but he was not answering, and I yelled at him in chat too. So I tried to get him because he will fight tooth and nail for this game. But Saints Row 4.
Axe it. Axe it.
Wow.
Yeah, axe it.
No chance.
Axe it.
No
Jesus.
chance.
Didn't play. LOL.
No.
Wow.
Not for game of the year. Not for game of the year. It's not.
It was.
It's not,
it was DLC that got expanded into a full retail release.
Yep.
Like,
I
God
totally
damn,
agree.
was it a good full retail
I mean, it was
release.
fun. It was Saints Row
fun.
3.5. Like, it was not a full-fledged product, and they priced it accordingly. It was still a fun game, but like, it was DLC plus. That's it.
No chance, Mark. Fight me.
I don't really completely agree with the DLC thing. Like, yeah, originally it was going to be a DLC thing, but they definitely added more than
Oh,
a
yeah.
DLC thing. But
added a whole
still,
game.
it's repetitive.
Yeah. I mean,
that's my biggest complaint with
exactly.
it is that it's repetitive.
Repetition. Yeah. I don't think it can win. It wasn't a bad. Yeah, it's agreed. It's not bad or anything. It's definitely a lot of fun. But after it wears off after, I don't know.
I don't
10
think
hours.
someone in chat said it got too stupid for you. It never got too stupid.
No,
There was never enough too
But the
stupid.
purpose of the game is to be as
Yeah, it's
stupid
supposed to be
as-
fucking. If you play through the first hour, I mean, the fucking aliens attack and you're in the fucking Matrix. Like, what do you want? Like, I just didn't really follow the story. I didn't feel motivation for my character. Like, fucking nerd. Don't play Saints Row then. Go play Grand Theft Auto or something else. Like, if you want something that's a little more
LA
aligned to
Noire.
real life. Go outside of your basement, you neck-bearded, fedora-wearing fuck. Don't play Saints Row. Stop posting on our atheism about your opinions. You know,
I feel like this
Shut up.
rant is maybe slightly misdirected.
It is a little misdirected.
I think it kind of veered off course real quick.
This poor guy in chat.
He's-
Eaten alive.
How dare you express an opinion in Scott's presence, sir?
No,
Alright,
I'm kidding. I'm
brothers.
really not that mad about it.
Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Several
Were there
people
10
on here.
games better than Brothers this year?
According to Giant Bomb, there
See,
were.
I love
Didn't play.
I love
LOL.
the game, but I fear that it's not something that I would ever be able to play again. That's the one
Yeah,
thing that
I can
will
see
hold me.
that.
I could play
I
it
don't
again
know
in
that I
like
would
in
ever
a
be
couple
able-
years.
Was there anything like this? Isn't a kind of negative or positive? Was there anything in that game where it was like it's gonna sound dumb, but it does make a difference? Like collectibles or like any sort of like percent complete, or is it just play through the story?
It was mostly just play through the story.
Okay, like I was just wondering because I did not play it. So
I mean, it's a fun game. It was one of my favorite games this year, but I mean,
How dare it not be Banjo-Kazooie?
I don't think it's better than any of the other games on this list. I think it's as good as Gone Home, but I think Gone Home, well, that's not even true. I think it's a step below Gone Home.
yeah,
I think the experience I had with it was better than anything else I had on here, but it's not going to be like a long-lasting one. It's not something that I want to play again, so I would probably cut it.
God, they talked
myself,
about the
because
end
So one at a time.
on Giant Bomb. They talked about the end of that game. Man,
It's a rough ending.
feels on top of feels. I
No,
didn't
no
even-
spoilers. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
We
shut
played it all the way
fuck
through
up.
on my show, and like
You kill Illidan.
Yeah, well, I don't watch your show.
Damn it!
You killed Illidan.
I wasn't prepared.
Carry Illidan. All right. Round one. I think we're saying that's Axe, despite being a very good game. Just to be clear, pretty much everything that we just listed, even the ones we cut, are damn good games, or the ones that we didn't play.
No, they suck.
Okay, they all suck. They're all shit. All right, so
Well,
Bioshock,
oh boy.
Gone Home, Tomb Raider, Bodied, Dota 2, The Stanley Parable, and Risk of Rain.
Fuck. This is.
6 very, very good experiences.
Let's just end it here and be like 6 games win game of the year. There you go. So the award is totally meaningless.
I want to go straight to the one.
Do you think we would upset fewer people doing
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Because
know.
I think I've seen in chat at least Like every game that's on this final list is like someone said, "I'm gonna kill myself if this game wins."
You know what? We may just have a lot of suicides on our hands.
It doesn't
I'm all right with
matter
that.
because at least there's nothing on this list that is Dishonored tier this year.
I was
That's
just
all I
about
can
to say.
That's
If
true.
any of these games win,
I would like to say
anymore.
my discussion
Actually, you know what?
format has worked.
To be
I
fair,
mean, giant
2012 was
curveball.
kind of
Can we
shit
nominate
year.
Dishonored DLC for Game of the Year, please?
Which is
I'll
a
vote
done
for
one.
that.
no.
I'll vote. God damn it!
I would actually kill myself.
Okay, I want to go straight to
What's not going to win?
the one out. Well, not outlier. The one that is different from all the others. Dota 2. It is the second, probably either second or third most popular game, at least in the U.S. I mean, I would say it's right up there on PC.
And
by the way,
Well, it's our only
China
multiplayer
dominates
game on this list.
yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't have as
Wait,
far.
Tomb Raider.
Shut up. Tomb Raider's multiplayer only now. I think it has to make a sort of Final Four or Final Nominees. It's pretty much a perfect game at what it does.
But does it do enough to win Game of the Year?
I don't know if it does enough to
You
win.
sound like a game show host. But does it do enough to win Game of the Year?
Come back
if-
and see if Joe.
If those
No.
kind of games are your style, there is no game that has more value than Dota 2. There's
Right.
no game out there, period, that has more value than Dota 2. If we're taking value into consideration, there's nothing even close. Like,
So
Dota 2 is the only game that does free-to-play the way it does. The only way. Like, the only game that does it that way. And it's
I think
actually
if you
free
take
to-
into account all of the kind of innovations with the free-to-play stuff and the marketplace that Dota 2 has done, that puts it in, like, that definitely puts it in contention. It's at least for me, it's really hard to even put them in the same category as like single-player games because Dota 2 is an ever-evolving kind of thing. So when you talk about Game of the Year, because it technically released this year, it's like, well, look at January 2013 compared to December 2013. Like, the incremental differences in quality of the game improved a lot, whereas these other games were sort of like one time it released, and sure there were like bug fixes and things, but that was the game itself.
It's definitely
So
a different kind of beast compared to the other games.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up first. I mean, for me, as someone who has played Dota 2 but doesn't play those types of games and doesn't normally enjoy them, I still can't even say like, and from the popularity and people like Nick, what they've said, there isn't
What do you mean, people like me?
a flaw to be found. I don't think, at least a glaring one, and it's a free game.
Accessibility. This is
Well,
the
That's
biggest
what
flaw I see.
So we talked
I would
about
go
that
with
on the
that.
single player. Like, it's not a game that is necessarily everyone's style that you're going to be able to easily sit down and hop into. I think that would be its
that's
biggest
not
strike.
a flaw. That's a design
To be
choice.
fa- to
That
be
is
fair,
not a
yeah,
flaw.
when-
They did not build that game for everybody. They
When
built
does
it
it-
so
Fair.
it's fucking
That's
hard.
fair.
A lot
I
of
think
games
that's a
games-
flaw from the consumer standpoint.
Games like
But-
Dota
well,
and
but
League of
it's free.
Legends.
The
Let
thing is,
Nick-
the
let
difference
Nick
is that
go.
it's free.
Let Nick go.
Games like Dota and League of Legends, it's not very accessible because the skill ceiling is so high, and that's what they're going for. They're going for something where you can constantly improve your gameplay. It's like John said, it's a design choice. It's complicated for a reason.
I'm just
But
saying
I
that's not
don't-
helping anyone's decision who finds the game frustrating and
But
really
I don't think you can
just
say
too
it's
deep
not
to get
accessible
into.
when it costs nothing to get in. You can say
Well, yeah,
that, like,
then
Gone Home
that's-
or Stanley Parable isn't a game for everyone because there's a choice to be made on whether or not you purchase it. With Dota, it's fully accessible because you can try it and see if you like it. You can try the
That's
entire
true.
experience.
And
That's a point, but again, that's just not really helping anybody who plays it and doesn't enjoy it. And I'm just kind of thinking
Well-
from those people's standpoint that
But they
Kinda like,
made
well-
zero investment to do so. That happens far more often in a game like BioShock or Tomb Raider or Stanley Parable or Risk of Rain. Somebody spends the money to buy that game
I mean,
and they don't enjoy it. They're fucked. Dota
Like,
2,
for me,
you just
for me,
tried.
Dota
you don't
2,
like it,
Dota
well.
2 feels like it would win accomplishment of the year. Like, because I know a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy Dota 2, and I actually don't really love Dota 2, like, playing it. But when I look at what it has done, and, like, like I said, the innovations around the marketplace and everything surrounding that game, and the international and just like all of these new things that haven't really been done before. Dota 2 to me is like accomplishment of the year, like game that has forced everyone else to raise the bar on like multiplayer games.
This is an accomplishment of the year award.
No, I know.
Actually, a good way to think of this award, though, was just brought up in chat. When I think of 2014, I think of like this
it should
game,
be 2013.
Yes, 2013 in this case. Sorry.
That's what I do. I mean, I do too, because you look at like the international, you look at the story of like the Alliance and Na'Vi. Like there's a lot of stuff with them too.
I mean, yeah,
like
Na'Vi.
I think of Dota 2 and BioShock exclusively when I think of this year. I don't think of any other games.
Okay,
that's just me.
See that? Does it like the thing about frustration as well? Blacklight is that like Isaac was extremely frustrating for like the first 30 hours.
Yeah. No, I mean any game is going to take some getting into, but I think that a degree of accessibility is important to voting a game of the year, because it has to be something that everybody sees game of the year. They go, oh yeah, man, that was a great game. I got right into it. And that's just what I think. I find that Dota is a very inaccessible title just because it's really fucking hard. But, I mean, if you guys have some good arguments against it in its favor, so... I mean, I still don't think
I'm not saying it's game of the year. I'm saying...
May the odds be ever in our favor.
I think it makes a nominee for me. I think Dota 2 has made enough of an impact.
Are we doing another round?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Like, I want to cut it down to 4 if we can.
Okay.
So essentially 2 games have to go.
All right, Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider.
Fucking hate you so much.
You're the only one gunning for Tomb Raider this hard. I haven't played it, so I don't know.
I am the only one who would vote for Tomb Raider. I'm sure of that. But I think it's better than 2 others of these, for sure, for me. I think it's better than BioShock for me because I actually had fun playing through the game. I wasn't just slogging through it. We've talked about this before.
I agree with that.
I wasn't slogging through it to get to another, albeit amazing, story point. But that's essentially what BioShock was for me. Minus the handyman battles, which I found really exciting. But other than those, I was just
handies
like...
from men.
Yeah, handies from men. I mean, obviously solid.
Game of the year.
But...
dude, handies, game of the year.
Handies from men.
Handies.
Sorry, ladies.
So let's just go ahead here then and go through. Brandon, what is your vote?
I probably shouldn't go first.
All right. Blacklight, what is your vote?
I really want to say Risk of Rain and be a hipster.
Do it.
Because
That's your feels.
No.
Do it.
Let me just explain. Like I want to be a hipster and say Risk of Rain because it was really good. The problem is that Risk of Rain is relatively new, and especially to me, like I got into it even later than most people. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm going to feel the way about Risk of Rain now that I do now that I don't in 10 years. Sorry, not in 10 years. Let's say even like a year. I don't know if I'm going to feel the way I do about Risk of Rain. Because games like that, I tend to just wake up one day and just say, I don't want to play that game anymore. I've gone through that with like every roguelike I've ever played. I feel like roguelikes just have a wall of enjoyment for me that eventually I hit and then I'm just done with that game. Might loop back to it, might not. On the other hand, I could always go back and play BioShock. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, fucking BioShock, it's overrated. Fucking... Everybody just wants to like circle jerk over how BioShock was overrated, and yeah, maybe it got overhyped more than it should have been, but it was still an incredibly well-made game. I really enjoyed every moment I played of it, and I'm gonna make that my vote, even though it's gonna piss a lot of people off. Fuck y'all.
Blacklight votes for Risk of Rain.
No, I don't. I vote for BioShock.
You made BioShock? Okay, sorry. I like in that rant I was lost at some point.
Sorry. That might be my fault.
Hex.
I vote for Gone Home.
Gone Home. All right. You voted for that for everything. You were completely wrong in indie game, but you voted for it anyway.
What did you want indie game? What indie game
should have been the Swapper or Path of Exile, but that's okay.
It should not have been either.
It just should have been both of those.
No.
Scott.
Tomb Raider would be a close second for me, but Gone Home is my vote.
I have to vote BioShock like BLA. For me, that's my game of the year. Even if, yeah, definitely Bioshock Infinite for me.
To be fair, I didn't play like most of these games, and also I really didn't like Battlefield 4 that much. So,
yeah.
Like, another point for Infinite though is Infinite had the most hype a game could possibly have.
That's what
before
I
it came out, and then
it lived up to most.
It just lived up to pretty much all of it. So, I mean,
it's impressive.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, you gotta do something special.
So many people in the chat are butthurt about Gone Home, and you're all wrong.
Dude, people in chat not fans of Gone Home.
I could give a fuck less what the people in our chat think.
Well, I'm aware of that.
You are all nothing if you thought that game was garbage.
Wow, dude.
Fine.
All right,
Not
John.
sure how much weight that carries coming from you, but
Probably almost as much as it comes.
Wait, Hex, what's your WoW name again?
Spunk Barrage.
Oh, there you go.
Tons of weight.
Net neutrality.
Everybody,
right now.
everybody's expecting me to choose Dota 2, and while I think it's probably the best overall game of the year, for me personally, I have to go with Bioshock because I'm sure Dota and play it. And Bioshock is a game that I will play numerous times. You know,
get the DLC.
I gotta catch up
by
on
the
the
way.
DLC. I got to.
Fucking
I'm
get the
start playing it
DLC.
again tonight, probably.
All right, Fenton.
Gone Home, because the game is just straight up fucking beautiful and makes you think about what video games can accomplish through story. Or at least it made me think about it, so yeah.
Yep, I agree.
All right, I will go next, and we'll have Brandon go last because he looks concerned. He looks super concerned over there. I'm voting for Tomb Raider because I mean, regardless of anything else, it was the best time I had playing a video game through this year.
Dan, what's your WoW name?
Fuck slime.
Okay, actually, you get immunity.
For now.
I had to think. I have a lot of really good ones.
You've earned that fuck slime immunity. For the time being.
Fuck slime immunity.
He gets the immunity torch from Survivor, but it's just a fleshlight on top of a stick.
Dan, do you think you would have enjoyed Tomb Raider as much if you were just playing it by yourself and like not streaming it? I'm just asking.
Yeah, because the gameplay was fun. Like, it was just a fun game to play. Everything they did with the bow and stuff in that game was great. There were definite negatives in that game.
G-O-T-Y.
Yeah, it was the year of the bow. Crisis 3,
really was.
Tomb Raider. But I think that game, I never, like, even during the stream, though, I never was like, I need to stop playing this game, like, or I want to stop playing this game. I wanted to continue playing. I think I beat it in 2 sessions, maybe. And I think
not a short game either. It's like an 8 or 9 hour game.
Yeah, I mean, the story was like, the story wasn't bad. It wasn't Bioshock for sure, but it wasn't bad. The only real, true, huge negative in that game was the inclusion of QuickTime events on a couple bosses. Not on every boss, just on a few of them.
That was so weird that it was only on some of them.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And one was super frustrating because the buttons wouldn't show up right away sometimes, but like everything else about that game, it was great. So that's my vote. The votes are now split 3 ways.
But I didn't really intend to become the tiebreaker.
One is currently winning.
You totally planned it.
How is it? What?
No, it's not split. I meant we've all voted, like, across us, we voted for 3 different games. The single player was more of a landslide, but go ahead, Brandon.
It's really tough because I think, like, for me, Bioshock, Gone Home, Dota 2, Stanley Parable, like all those could win, and I'd be fine with any of those choices. I think like Gone Home is really good. I think it's an amazing experience, having literally just played it a day ago. But it's like, for me, it's not a game that I think that. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, Brandon, what are you trying to say?
I think it left me wanting more, but almost not in a good way. Like, I see exactly what they wanted out of it, and I really enjoyed the couple hours I spent with it. But when I think of Game of the Year, and I look at something like Bioshock, where I played through it, and I think I kind of have the same opinion of John here where like BioShock is a game where in 4 or 5 years I'll come back to it because it's like it's sort of a cornerstone of like games that you should play. And I think BioShock is I really enjoyed it. It's not perfect, but I think again it was so hyped up, and for the most part it lived up to all that hype, and I think that's my vote.
All right. Well, I think we're keeping people like I think we should keep everything as nominees. Like when I put this vote up, it's going to be all 6 of these games, I think, because we spoke so highly of all 6 of these. That
this and like I just want to say too, like this podcast illustrates why Game of the Year is really like such a dumb thing because there's not one game that is objectively better than every other game that came out. Right? Like
my number 2 was Tomb Raider, by the way, people. Just so you know, Dan's not the only one. Number 2.
I agree. Mine was too.
All of these games have such very, very different value propositions. Like Gone Home is an experience, right? It's not a game. It's an interactive story experience that's like a couple hours long. BioShock is a great single-player experience. Dota 2 is a great multiplayer experience. To even try and like pick one that's like the Game of the Year is silly. So all of these games are good. If you haven't played them, if just like buy them, play them.
In fact, the 6 we eliminated are also pretty damn good. So there you go.
They wouldn't have been on this list if they weren't good.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's a good point by Brandon. I totally agree. It's hard.
But we do this.
They're different.
Because
like if you're mad that a specific game lost, stop being mad because all of these games are good.
Go play them.
So basically, what we could say is congratulations, Madden 25. For winning Game of the Year for KBMOD.
Not a surprise, really, at all.
No. The Madden franchise has been, a stalwart for years, and
blockers actually realistically collide with other blockers in gang tackles this year, which is exciting. Exciting for me.
The people in the stands are actually 5 polygons this year.
It's impressive.
I hope that guy didn't get timed out. I hope he got timed out and not banned. I've had a lot of complaints lately, mods. Just FYI.
I'd like to know what X Rebirth is, by the way. I'm just looking.
It's one of the worst games of the year, is what I've heard.
Yeah. It's a space sim.
So, this the 6 nominees for Game of the Year for us were Risk of Rain, The Stanley Parable, Dota 2, Tomb Raider, Gone Home, and BioShock Infinite, with the winner going to BioShock Infinite. Not entirely shocking.
Tomb Raider.
God damn, why is everyone shitting him?
I didn't play the game, man.
So our awards are officially over. This week,
I will.
We'll be posting a post for single player experience of the year and also for game of the year for community voting, so you guys can make your voices heard there. So if you think we're full of shit and opinions are pretty crazy,
zany opinions,
you can express yours on the site this week, and then next week we'll have a little segment on the podcast where we will read off the final community choices as well as our choices. We'll just go over the categories quickly, and return to normal format next week. So, all right, guys, we're gonna take another quick 2-minute commercial break and then do some questions from you guys. So we'll be back. Kind of thought that would win.
Yeah, I pretty much figured that was going to win.
I
That's
actually
fine.
thought I would garner some votes for Dota 2, but I didn't.
I would. I mean, I said I think Dota 2 is the best game of the year, but it's not the game that I enjoyed the most.
As a technical game, I'm not sure how I'm trying to say this. There's obviously no story in Dota 2 or anything like that.
Well, actually, you're wrong.
Okay, well,
there's lore there.
There is lore.
Yeah, there is lore. But as far as a game, as gameplay and gameplay mechanics, yes, it's hard. There isn't a flaw in that game. It's
I mean, there are flaws. There's bugs every once in a while.
Bloodseeker's Ultimate is a flaw.
A bug
will always be a flaw.
A bug is different. I don't know.
Actually, know what that one does.
I guess what I'm saying is that BioShock had tedious combat, but Dota 2, if you're into MOBAs in Dota 2,
whoa,
if you're in that
Let's
world,
not throw that word around, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. God damn.
Yeah, they're totally different.
It's an ARTS, man. Come on.
Jesus.
I'm just at the point where I don't actually care anymore. It's just easier to say MOBA.
You did care for a while.
You did. You were really upset for a while.
There are still. It's a different thing.
Well,
I mean, between Dota 2 and League, having played both, they're definitely different types of games. Like, the Dota is way more complex than League.
yeah, true.
It's like, I mean, my personal vote against Dota 2, I mean, you guys know I kept saying it, I don't find it accessible. I find Dota 2 too hard, and I'm not, like, retarded. So, I mean, to be fair, I suck at MOBAs. Like, I'm garbage at them. So.
And well, you're also a shit-tier player, so.
So, League of Legends is just better to me because I can suck less at it.
Annie, I'm using the wrong macro.
Take his mod. Take his mod.
Dan is KBMOD.
He used my personal channel macro.
Wow. Just sitting there hitting macros. Doesn't give a fuck.
The awards are over. That was a much better experience than last year. With
Yeah,
just
no
straight
Dishonored.
voting and an award show.
Well, also, there were decent games this year, so.
That's true.
Yeah, 2012 was just like a real.
It was kind of off. There was no Skyrim. Like, Skyrim was 2011. Like, there was no...
Well, we gave Game of the Year to... What's it called? I can't even remember its name. Dishonored. So, it was a pretty shit year.
Well, oh, God, I wish I had
A lot of
Spec
people's
Ops in
judgments
2012.
were clouded. So.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, 2013, although it had much better games this year, the worst games list this year was very long.
Oh yeah, it did have
just
some shit games.
There were some fucking bad games.
Let us not make any mistake of thinking that there were not shit games, because there absolutely were.
Like,
Journey is
goddamn.
Game of the Year 2013 for me as well.
Once Brandon gets back, we'll get into these questions, guys. He's still AFK. Probably sweating off that decision.
I think at this point, Journey is like top 5 games ever for me.
I would like
Jim
to
wants to know, why do we give Dishonored Game of the Year then and shit on it now? Because last year it was a straight up vote and a bunch of people voted really poorly.
Yeah, it was a straight up vote by a lot of people who...
I liked Dishonored
A lot of people that hadn't played the whole game.
Yeah, and also like a lot of people who aren't...
Don't get me
super
wrong.
active gamers. Like, they're gamers, but they're not playing a lot, so it's...
Like, don't get me wrong. I still really like Dishonored. I enjoyed my time playing it. I would play it again.
It's a good game. It's not Game of the Year.
It just should never have been Game of the Year for any
But like
year.
when I
It
look
just
back at
happened that-
like the list of games from last year, there just wasn't that much that was very good. 2012.
Yeah.
Like they're
2012
like
just
Far Cry
sucked.
3.
This year was also an improvement, but outside of like BioShock and like Dota and stuff like that, like there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that was like mind blowing. It was like, yeah, these games are good to great, like they're in that range, but like nothing.
For those,
outside.
by the way, for those who may be new in our chat on this stream, we only consider games that came out on PC. So we hadn't set in several of the other award streams. People were like, "Where's The Last of Us?" Well, it didn't come out on PC, so it's not eligible for any of this.
They chose not to be on our list.
Yeah, Naughty Dog
They chose
that path.
It was not a contractual.
It was
they chose deliberately.
So, viewer questions. Here we are. This was emailed in by Henry V, and he asks, "Is brunch the way to go? If so, what would you get for brunch?"
Brunch is always the way to go because breakfast
Always.
food is the fucking best.
Always.
I
don't know if it's because
is,
if it's a
no.
Cali thing, but we brunch in Cali like 5 times a week. That's what it is. I'm not
Maybe
even kidding.
you do.
I do, actually. Because I'm
It's
unemployed,
nice
so I can
that
That
brunch.
unemployment grind brunch.
The
It's
unemployment
9 o'clock
brunch
at
is
night and I'm
strong.
about to go out for brunch.
Yep. Well, no, that's not brunch.
That's
then.
not brunch
dinner.
anymore. That's just you want waffles at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Oh
No,
yeah.
brunch is absolutely fantastic. It's probably my the
And
only
what
way
you
to go.
get for brunch? Fucking anything. There's
Yeah.
your answer. It's breakfast.
I don't think there are typically never anything bad on a brunch menu.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Brunch
true.
is-
That's
Brunch
true.
is definitely the best because if you're with somebody that doesn't like breakfast, they can just get a sandwich and be done.
Yo,
If you're with
Eggs
someone
and
that
bacon
doesn't like
and
breakfast,
brunch.
If you're with someone who doesn't like breakfast,
if you're with someone who doesn't want breakfast food
You
for
shouldn't be with
brunch,
them. You shouldn't hang out with them.
you should get up and walk away.
They're probably a robot or something.
The thing is, I'll go to breakfast. I'll go get breakfast food at like 2 in the morning. So, like, I'm probably about to do that right after the podcast.
You're not human, though.
That's true.
Right, fair enough. I am
Like Lil
raccoon.
Wayne. He's not a
That,
human.
right,
that
let's
doesn't,
go
that
through
doesn't
then.
really qualify as brunch. That's just breakfast
Exactly,
food late at night, which
that's
is
what I'm
equally
saying.
as good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying you can have breakfast food any time of day, and most diners serve breakfast food any time of day.
True.
But brunch is generally a solid choice. Yes.
All right, let's go through.
What
Dan,
would you get
for
for
brunch? Dan, start with you.
What would I get for brunch? Oh, god damn. Steak and eggs, perhaps?
Yes,
Yeah,
Dan.
solid.
That's mine too. I'm just gonna say I get steak and eggs all the time.
Expensive as fuck.
Or a
So-
giant breakfast burrito, which I got with
Ooh.
Nick and Scott.
Breakfast
And-
burrito.
Yes,
Solid
I
choice.
got that breakfast burrito
yeah.
from that place recently, and it was fucking great.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
delicious.
it's really good.
Brandon, what about you? Brunch. What's your call?
I think, kind of depending on my mood, I might go for either like an eggs Benedict, or like a spicy Mexican omelet.
Also good.
Ooh.
Solid.
Down.
Blacklight.
Depending on how I'm feeling, also eggs Benedict, because Brandon is my N-word. And if I'm not feeling that, depending on my mood, maybe a big-ass Belgian waffle.
Ooh, I haven't
Good
had a
one,
Belgian
too.
waffle in a
Strong.
long time.
Okay, APL said steak and eggs.
Yeah,
John,
that's
what about
my
you?
go-to.
I'm saying steak and eggs as well,
Yes,
but I am going with sunny side up eggs, mind
Nice.
you.
Yeah,
Not
Me
scrambled.
too.
Oh,
Me
okay.
too.
I do the same. That's me too.
Wow,
I've dipped
we
my
should
steak
make
in
out
that
or
shit,
something.
dude. Oh my
You
god.
guys should all just kiss each other's buttholes.
I sop it up with my delicious. I always get sourdough toast. Oh man. Oh, I want
call.
some now. I'm about to leave. I'm leaving.
Just
I'm
leave the cast and go get some goddamn steak and eggs and sourdough toast.
What are you gonna go with, Nick?
I'm a big fan of French toast. I like French toast.
Very solid, always good.
No, some
I'm
scrambled
gonna
eggs.
go-
Scrambled eggs on the side. You
What
know.
we are
Nice.
discovering is there's no bad breakfast food.
There isn't.
Well,
They're
it
all
really isn't.
good.
The week most of you guys were gone, I think it was most of you guys were gone, we had or maybe it was when everyone was here. I cannot honestly remember. We had the question of which do you get for breakfast, waffles, pancakes, or French toast. And we all pretty
waffles
much
is the best
unanimously agreed that French toast was like
The one you could
that's
have
like
at any-
the all-rounder.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah,
the,
I would always.
But I think
Some
I
powdered
think
sugar on
that
that
it
bitch?
depends on where you go though. If you're talking about
Absolutely.
like a little local joint, I think French toast could definitely be it. But like if you're talking about maybe more of a chain or something you're not sure of,
Oh.
I think pancakes or waffles is a safer bet.
Yeah, but at a chain, aren't you afraid at a chain they're gonna give you like a fucking Eggo waffle and not actually make one? See, at a mom and pop place, I want like a
Let me
Belgian
be
waffle.
clear, I'm
named
not
Nick.
afraid of anything when I need breakfast food.
The thing is,
If you live with that mirror, I guess you're not allowed to be afraid.
at some
of anything.
point in your life, Denny's is gonna be the greatest meal you've ever eaten.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but you're gonna be on a lot of
Anyone-
drugs. or
Like
alcohol,
there
though.
will
let
be
me
a
just-
scenario
let me just
where
say-
even Denny's is
Listen,
fucking great.
Denny's.
Hold on. You need to,
I
you need
will.
to sl-
I will need to
you
have
need to
been
slow your
smoking
roll
weed
next
in a desert for 40 days in order for that to be the best thing I've ever.
Yeah, and it will happen, and you will
it
come
will
to that
happen
point in your
someday.
life, and you will appreciate it.
I don't
You'll
smoke
be
because
like,
it's
"Oh,
wrong morally.
Yeah, devil's lettuce.
Debate
And you'll
me.
be fucking condemned to hell for the rest of your life.
You want to lose your legs? You better not smoke. Lose your legs.
Listen, this may be an unpopular opinion, but like Denny's, Waffle House, that is my jam there. I will eat at Denny's any day of the week.
Dude, I fuck with Denny's. I fuck with Denny's hard.
I hate Denny's.
I don't know why I just went real ghetto there.
did.
How
How
fuck is
Denny's-
this sandwich?
Denny's is not my chain of choice.
Listen.
But yeah, Denny's is definitely fuckswittable.
It is.
No.
Just feel bad
if
for all
there's-
these
I like
people.
Denny's, the slam burger. You can't beat a slam burger, dude. So good.
But you don't have Kings, and that's so much better than either Denny's or Eden Park. And it's only
King's is fucking ass. You probably think
Oh
Bob
my
Evans
God.
is good too.
King's
Oh, no,
is pretty
Evans is
ass.
Probably like Bob
horrible.
I
No,
worked
no,
at
no.
King's.
Listen
Well,
to
you
me.
guys
If
keep
there's-
saying Denny's, but I think you mean Butter, the restaurant. This shit is gross.
Awesome, because every time they sell a meal at King's,
Since
Hartley
when
King
is
has to
Nick
have sex
Jenkins
with
a foodie
Alpha.
over here?
Yeah,
what the hell?
did I ever tell that story?
Kinda
Down
always.
on Denny's?
If I
This is
if
the
I-
IHOP.
guy who's gonna go out
Right
of McDonald's at 2 in the
That's
morning.
King's.
yeah. Don't
McDonald's.
even.
Excuse
I
me,
like-
motherfucker.
I
Homeboy
like
doesn't eat
IHOP.
McDonald's.
I like IHOP, but Scott does not
IHOP.
like
No.
IHOP.
No. Absolutely. Listen, if there's
I
an
don't know what you have
IHOP
against
next to
IHOP.
each other, listen, if there's an IHOP and
Cinnabon
next to each
pancakes,
other,
get the fuck out.
I will walk into the IHOP.
is so
I will
good.
massacre everyone inside with a machine gun. I will light it on fire, and then I will eat it. Denny's.
You're on a fucking list now. So
Yeah, you are going to be arrested 10 minutes after the
Wait,
podcast.
hold on. Why are you killing all the other patrons?
Because they're
before you
eating
go
at
to-
IHOP. They're eating there.
You just
And
said you would eat there after you kill all of
Yeah,
them.
but
All right,
you
well, I'm
still
back and eat next time I go to IHOP.
Jesus.
Starts this
you
argument.
have yet to give a reason why IHOP is not good.
Because everything
It's delicious.
No,
It's
everything-
delicious.
So good.
Oh, IHOP.
I love IHOP.
If
I
you-
want to
if you
hear his
go-
reason.
The eggs at IHOP taste like they just came out of an astronaut fucking.
Why are
space-
you getting eggs at the International House of Pancakes?
There we go. There we go.
What are you doing?
If
No,
you're not getting
Listen.
something that is bread based, you fucked up, or something that's like.
Scott, they offer
Their
eggs
eggs
at
are
IHOP
ass.
as a courtesy.
Well, then maybe I'm doing it wrong.
You absolutely are doing it wrong because you're fucking ordering eggs. You know what they have? They have obviously pancakes, but also their home fries are dope as fuck. So
Yeah.
like, if you're somehow sitting there looking at your soggy pile of yellow bullshit and you're like, this isn't really came for the International House of Eggs.
Listen,
Scott.
I get
It's not
pancakes
called
too.
IHO.
And I also want to shout out.
I hope.
Full house of eggs.
It's the king of shit. Like
He's like the filet mignon at IHOP wasn't up to standards for me.
Well, actually,
Sorry, I went to the
steak and eggs,
International
and I
House
wanted
of
it medium
Pancake,
rare,
and their
but-
prime rib wasn't cooked well.
IHOP is the king of putting frivolous shit on their pancakes. Like, oh, we'll layer it in 40 different sauces.
Oh, and that's so bad.
If by
It is
frivolous
bad.
you mean fucking delicious.
So I'm very upset at you guys for putting Nutella all over my
listen,
Cinnabon
Scott,
pancake.
that's like getting upset at the Cheesecake
You're
Factory for
such a
offering a bunch of different types of cheesecake.
Stop putting frivolous things on my pancakes that I look at on the menu and order.
It's a metaphor
they
for
have
America. I've
frivolous
tweeted
things.
IHOP, you're wasteful, and it's too much. Just eat a
Scott,
pancake.
is IHOP too entitled? Is it
Egg.
too entitled? Is that what it is?
Yes.
You've
Oh,
been
we need
preaching this
fucking
all week.
blueberry vodka sauce on my pancakes. No, give me some syrup and some butter and an old flapjack grill, and I'll eat it at Denny's. You fucking I'm done.
Regardless,
I go for fucking brunch, then
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because any restaurant doesn't matter because mother's brunch is always going to be the best.
Truth.
At least my grandmother's brunches are fucking great.
I'm down with that.
Can we just also all agree that any place that cuts off their breakfast menu at like 10:30 or 11
They're the devil.
is just
fuck
they're
you.
they're the worst.
Keep some goddamn pancake batter on ice. Like, what is wrong with you? You are literally destroying this country.
That's what I've never understood. It's like what? You still have the ingredients. You're just choosing not to serve me the food that I want.
Seriously, it's in the back, motherfucker. Like, I mean, here's another reason I don't eat at McDonald's, Mr. Accusatory McDonald's. It's 'cause
Wow, you
those
really
dumb
took the
fucks stopped
McDonald's
serving
thing.
breakfast, which is the only edible thing they have on the menu.
True.
At like what 10:30? I haven't been awake at 10:30 in like 4 years.
McDonald's breakfast is like
good.
Denny's as well, where it's like you'll be at some point in your life where it's fucking amazing. Like it's
Bacon,
just a
egg, and cheese
scenario.
biscuits
Wake up one morning.
sometimes.
There will be the one random morning you wake up at like 8:30 and you'll be like, "Fuck yeah, I can go get McDonald's
A
breakfast."
fucking egg McMuffin.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'll do that.
Honestly, I make basically the equivalent of an egg McMuffin at home. Like, it's basically the same thing. It's just that it's not made of bullshit. Like,
And sometimes you need that bullshit in your life.
Sometimes you
Also
drink a
doesn't
bottle and a half.
sometimes
of
that
Splash
bullshit
before.
ends your life.
Listen,
true.
if you're ever at a point where you're capable enough in the morning to make your own egg McMuffin, you're not considering McDonald's egg McMuffin instead.
That's
Yeah,
true.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's you
You
don't.
need to
don't
be like
ever do that.
limping home.
Yeah.
When then that's
Yeah.
when you get an egg McMuffin.
Yeah.
I need to have just escaped from
You
the
have a
trunk of some
stab
guy's
wound.
car.
God damn, I could really use a bacon, egg, and cheese.
And you're like, God damn
After
it,
that
that's
kidnap and
Who
butt
the
rape
fuck
session, I could
gets
really
that?
use it.
My favorite is when they try to advertise the Egg McMuffin. It's this like really fit like black dude like eating it, and it's just like, what? Who do you
No.
think we are?
Go to any-
We're idiots.
If you can go to any McDonald's before breakfast is cut off, you will never see the fit black dude in there getting an egg McMuffin. It's
No.
nothing but the biggest failure piles you've ever made in your entire life.
It's a lot of
And
people
me,
that look like
and me.
us.
Yeah,
It's
people
the
that
people
look like
who are
us are
still-
eating it.
It's the people who are still awake after that night. Getting an Egg McMuffin.
I didn't think this question would stir this much controversy.
We argued more about this than Game of the Year.
Oh yeah,
That's
far and away.
I
This
was
is
way more
arguably
passionate
more
about
important.
this than Game of the Year, to be honest.
All right.
I don't
next
just have a
Apparently.
breakfast food
I'm actually
podcast.
much more qualified for this debate.
Look at me. I'm
Breakfast
fucking
food
qualified.
games.
Same.
All right, next question.
Wait, hold on. Where did the other one go? There was
Somebody else
one?
asked the same
Here.
question.
Which one?
there was a question here that had a great spelling error that I thought was the reason that it was included.
Let me undo a million then.
Yes. This
Oh
one here.
yes. Yes. Okay.
This is a
Right.
great question.
At Zach57 asks, and I know you're in the chat, so this is bad for you. Do you have any crazy? Do you have any crazy girlfriend stores?
Well,
I mean-
personally, no, but I was offered to run a franchise a few years back. I declined because I decided to pursue.
Wait. Do we have to define what a
KBMOD.
franchise is this week again?
Oh God.
God damn it!
There's this one, but you have to use the Tor browser to get to it, and I can't tell you guys how to find it. Sorry.
So it's a .onion link.
I don't really know a lot about human trafficking, so
Silk Road,
it's.
but for women.
I don't really know a lot about human trafficking, so.
Yeah, come over tomorrow, and I'll show you.
Yeah,
it's this great website.
So no, none of us have any, except Hex, who knows
I
about
can't
them but
talk
isn't
about
gonna
it. Look,
isn't gonna
you
disclose
guys don't have
that
the Tor
shit.
browser.
He opens up his Tor
If
browser.
there were girlfriend stores, do you not think I'd be there right now perusing the delights in the front window? Let's be real.
But not buying.
So-
not buying. Just perusing.
No, not buying, just because I would, yeah. The model I'd want would be
Because who
way
can
out of my
afford
league.
it,
The
honestly?
lights in the front window.
Can you tell me about the specs and the latest
What about this
model?
blonde model? Do you just get her in? What does she do?
What does she do?
What did she do?
What operating system?
What operating system is she running? Is she running Compliance 2.0? I think she is. Compliance.
Oh my god!
Wow.
All
Do you
right,
have any dominatrix model?
I'm looking for a model that makes me feel sexually insignificant in the bedroom. Do you have anything for me?
all right.
Let this be a lesson to you future podcast question askers that we answer questions as written.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
100%.
if you make a typo,
Why do you think
Hey,
Kate
yo,
Zen is a
question gets
legend?
selected.
It's 180 characters, man. You fucked up.
Is she backwards compatible? That's a good question. Nikon, thank you for that, buddy. All right. At Hawk Danny asks, what was your least favorite household chore when you were a kid?
Oh, easy. Shoveling
Easy.
snow.
Really? Oh yeah,
fucking
Minnesota.
hated it.
I can see that.
Mowing the grass. That was definitely my least favorite.
I got paid for that, so I was cool with that.
We had a corner lot.
Shoveled
with-
my
it
snow,
was
and then I went
huge.
around the town and made other people pay me.
All right,
Yeah,
this
but
one's
Minnesota,
gonna.
that could literally kill you.
This is really gonna sound dumb, but I hated making my bed because there is no more pointless
point.
chore
That's
in the
true.
world than making
I
a
still
bed
make
in a
mine.
teenager's room. There's no
Builds
point
character
to
down.
that.
My parents gave up on that when I was like 10.
No, I cleaned my room very diligently, but like making my bed in the morning, who the fuck cares? Who's coming in there and being like, that's a messy bed. There's something wrong with this kid. Like, who? That's a pointless chore. My kids will not have to make their beds.
Even today, I don't make my bed
if
unless
they
it's
shit in
like
their bed,
family
they
is
won't.
coming over.
What are they doing in your bedroom?
I can't talk about it. Open up
Just
Tor
like
and
the
I'll send you a
human,
link.
yeah. Just like the girlfriend stores. This one has to be done off air.
Even an incognito tab is not good enough for this.
Yeah, geez, I don't know. Probably doing the dishes. Even to this day, I really hate
That's a
doing the
shitty
dishes.
thing to do.
It's a
Like,
terrible job.
It just feels like it takes so goddamn long, and it just never ever ends. And it like you'll end up doing it takes like 20 minutes, but it feels like fucking 4 hours every time. Even to this day, And you know what? And what happened is I got older. It hurts my back, just like leaning over the sink like that. I don't know what it is. Like,
how low is your sink?
How old are you?
Like seriously, it feels like I was wondering, like, is this supposed to be something that only happens to like 90-year-old men? But no, like
Do you want me to build like a ramp that I can get your hover round up to sink level, or?
Yes.
Blacklight is frozen on the podcast screen and like
looks
this petrified
stern.
look.
He looks real stern.
He looks like real upset. Now he's Spider-Man with the sub. Damn it.
Fuck.
Sorry, I went to go re-enable.
Don't worry, I got it.
We didn't want you
consider
to.
it. You
We
know
wanted
that?
you to keep it. I was frozen in ecstasy last week, so
It's all right. It's already Gayazo.
That's true.
It's forever.
it's already saved.
Yep. I would say mowing the grass, even though I did get paid for it, which is nice, but mowing the grass in a Texas summer, there is nothing worse.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds
the people that run lawn mowing businesses in South Texas, I couldn't. I could never do that job. I would never do it. I would rather be unemployed.
Yeah, that's terrible. All right, this next question is a very interesting scenario. At Bob the Red Dino asks, if you could airdrop 100 dildos down anyone's chimney, whose would it be, and what color/size would they be?
I already have an answer for this
Chris
one.
Metzen Rainbow.
Chris Metzen.
Wait, what?
He hates Chris
And,
Metzen so
large.
much.
And large. Just large.
Large.
Like, biggest available on Great American Challenge.
The Great American Challenge of dildos.
The Great American Challenge is actually the name of a giant dildo.
Oh, God.
The challenge is to take it
Now
all.
I'm going to have to open up the incognito tab.
Why do you know that? That's a real.
I honestly don't know. I don't know why I know that. I'm pretty sure it was something me and a bunch of friends were linking to each other back and forth years ago.
When the person who
Oh god! Oh god!
It's big.
constantly asks you that question, you'd rethink your
It
life.
looks like the sword from Saints Row. It's a dildo sword.
The Great American Challenge, man. If you can fit that entire thing in your
What are
ass.
the specs on this?
Is it your ass?
Can you overclock it?
14.5 by 5.5 by
my God.
15.5 inches.
Yep.
I'm not even putting
Weighs
this in
5
incognito. I
pounds.
just don't
Are you
care.
mad?
It's 5 pounds. Oh my God.
That would take an entire bottle of lube.
Yeah, and I'm dropping 100 of them into Chris Metzen's chimney.
Dude, you're
Oh,
gonna
shit.
murder Chris Metzen's
It's on
pets
it.
with
Oh,
the weight of
I'm on-
those.
I'm on Amazon. Original listing price $107. It's on sale right now for $56.
Whoa!
Two of them.
Savings!
To
You
take
can't
that whole
afford
thing,
not to buy
you
this
have to-
enormous dildo.
I will
It's
say
got a
this.
pretty good product description.
I will say this, Blacklight. If you did that, you would essentially be allowing Chris Metzen to sell $100 dildos to someone.
I have
care.
to
You just
read this.
made
I have
Chris
to read
Metzen
this
money.
I don't
description.
care.
The
would be
description
really
for this thing is: the Great American Challenge is not for the novice or the inexperienced. One session with this purple jelly monster and nothing else will feel quite the same. Our jelly dong is 15 inches tall. Jump on and tame the monster.
Good lord!
Oh my god.
Yeah, nothing will feel the same because you won't be able to feel. You will be paralyzed.
You have to go to the hospital. That's what will happen.
I did
Actually,
not
the
foresee
favorite-
this
That
question
thing is
going
from
here.
jumping off a building, ass out, and hoping that the force would shove its
Looking
way
this
through
up
your
just
body.
linked me to a forum that discusses nothing but the size of dogs. This is great. I'm really having a great time.
Depending on your mood, do or definitely do not read the Amazon customer reviews.
I'm going in. I'm going in.
And yeah, this I have to see.
If you can find one that is life safe,
A lot of
Me
the
and my
reviews are the
wife
same
both
thing.
love it.
My wife.
all right.
I somehow imagine that females are probably a surprisingly low amount of the user base of this product.
Might agree with you there.
Just saying. I don't-
We have the basic 12-inch suction dog.
Oh my God! Some of the reviews for this are incredible, and I want to read this one, but I'm not sure if it's safe enough to read.
Yeah. Well.
No, we're,
Yeah,
we're
just-
gonna move on from this. Oh,
I don't think anybody else answered but me.
I don't think we need to. The Great
No,
American
that's
Challenge
it.
is the answer on anyone's house. It doesn't
Not that I
matter.
see.
Literally anyone. It could
Yeah.
be a completely innocent old couple in their 90s. It'd still be good. Great American Challenge.
The problem with answering this question is I don't reliably know who does and does not have a chimney. So
That's true too.
No, fireplaces
I wouldn't want to waste the one opportunity on someone that doesn't actually have a chimney. So
The thing that Blackliteattack just posted in the chat is terrifying.
What?
I live large.
That was Nick Fenton.
Oh, is Fenton? Okay, yeah, they put it in the Skype chat. I mean,
Oh God.
just wow.
Yeah.
Good for them for their healthy sexual relationship, but holy shit. Like,
All right.
12-inch suction dog.
Oh my
It's definitely a phrase that guy used completely unironically.
This description. This review. I can't.
Yeah, they
It's
posted
hard
that
to
in chat.
chew.
I can't believe none of you guys knew about this. I thought the Great American Challenge was like
that I Live Large review is the best one, I think.
do they come in other colors besides purple? Because I don't want a purple. That's not good.
New Tumblr blog.
Did you read this one that Brandon posted? The I Live Large
My
description?
kids failed to attach the wrist strap appropriately to their wrists.
If you can guess, I broke my new 40K TV by my 7-year-old hurling the Great American Challenge. It shattered. Hurts my anus. 1 star. He just throws that in. Hurts my anus. All right.
Wow.
Last question is relevant to all you podcast question askers. Some good ones tonight. You may have learned a little this evening.
Wow.
At FatAttack82 which do you like more, the zany 420 Twitter questions or ones that actually provoke a discussion? We had several that did both tonight, so
I think you need both.
I like it when they do both.
If you're the 90th person to
You
ask
can ask
us,
zany questions that spark interest.
Yeah.
Like brunch.
That's true.
yes,
I think it's much easier to make a question that provokes discussion than make a funny question. Because we get a lot of questions that are maybe trying a little bit too hard to be funny.
yeah,
It's
There are those that just aren't trying hard enough. If you're gonna make a joke real quick, like just as some advice to
I'm
you,
getting my bang bangs ready.
being as random as fucking possible isn't funny. It hasn't been funny since like the early 90s, and you need to fucking quit.
and
Wow.
and actually only Katie Zen can pull off completely.
That's
wacko.
true.
That's not
not even
completely random. That's
Yeah.
just like hilariously badly worded questions, and that's like kind of his thing.
Yeah,
I'm talking about people who are like, when does the walrus moo? Like, fuck off. If you're gonna type us a question like that, just kill yourself.
Wow. See, the best ones are the ones like the brunch.
I guarantee
ready.
every question next week
like-
will be, when does the walrus moo now? And now we're fucked. That's all we're gonna get.
Yeah,
The best ones are the brunch questions where it's like seemingly innocent. It's like just a basic question.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
brunch
just something
question.
hilarious. That's the best kind of question.
Yeah.
But really, though, when does the walrus moo? Now I'm actually curious.
Never. They don't moo. That's not a sound they make.
Second Thursday.
They might make something similar to cows, but fuck off. No one cares. No one actually wants to answer that fucking question.
Jesus Christ.
No one ever
fuck
will.
off.
You're not funny.
Actually, when does the narwhal bacon?
Yeah, okay. Anybody fucking says that is officially on a terrorist watch list.
Do you know what that is?
It's
Does
a
anybody
Reddit.
know what that is? Yeah, it's this really dumb question some Redditors made up so they know who other Redditors are. And it's like you ask somebody, when
This
does
is
the
why
narwhal
Redditors are
bacon?
horrible.
And then
All right, we're
isn't
done
the
here.
The answer's like midnight or something. So, I don't know.
God.
I think the problem now is you have to assume every random question you get is from Reddit because there are so many.
That's true. That's true. All right, that's it. We discovered the game of the year this year. We discovered that brunch is fucking good,
Yep.
and we discovered the Great American Challenge, which
It's fucking
not even
good.
sure it's fucking real good.
I think you come to this podcast to learn, and what do? We dispense knowledge every
Yep.
week.
That's what we
You
do.
can't say you didn't learn anything.
Yep.
We spurt knowledge angrily.
We do. Sure.
Hey, I'm seeing Rob Delaney in March. I'm so pumped.
Damn.
So pumped.
Ask him to come on the podcast.
I should.
Just like
Actually,
climb up
can
on
you-
stage.
All right. I'm
Can
gonna
you
go
just
get
ask
some
him
chicken
to
and
write some
waffles
funny
at a Great
tweets about the
American Challenge.
podcast?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
If he's on the
That's
podcast,
it for this week, episode 124. Thank you for coming out. All the KBMOD links are below the stream. If you really liked what you saw tonight, please subscribe. If you can't do that, at least give us a follow here. We're live every single night here on Twitch. And we shall see you guys next week with episode 125 of the podcast. Finally moving on to 2014, 3 weeks in. So we'll see you guys then. All of our Twitters are on the screen. Thank you so much. Later, bros.
Later.
Later.